Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True. We are so stoked to be talking about the president's speech from last night. It was amazing. But first, I want to introduce the people that are going to be on the podcast talking with us today. Is all our podcast team. Starting to the left of me is Joe Curry.
Good evening. How is everybody doing? Glad to be here.
Of course, Patriot Box.
Hello, everyone.
And amazing Mark White, who has picked some videos for us that we're going to get to sometime during this podcast.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Mark,
Hello,
how are you?
How's it going?
I'm doing great.
So last night, I was watching the State of the Union address with Patriot Box, and I felt like I was at a football game because I kept screaming at the screen like the men do when they're watching football. And it was just such an amazing speech. I loved every aspect of it. We'll get to all the different aspects, during this podcast. But he called those Democrats out. And the best part was when he said, they are crazy. So the videos that you have lined up for us are about liberals being crazy. Do you want to just tell us like a little synopsis of what we're going to be seeing?
Well, basically, I still can't understand it. Remember, this all comes from Liz at TikTok. She's the one that started doing this. So they go on TikTok and they just say the most insane thing, and then they post it. Now, so they're in their little tiny little bubble. So there's not a big problem because they're all in their little bubble. But she put them out there and exposed them. And so now we all see that, oh my God, they're actually crazy. Do you realize that these people actually got upset because she was doing this? They posted something where they're acting crazy. She puts it, on Twitter, and then they get upset because now everybody knows they're crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
But they're still, you have to look at it this way. These people never learn consequences. And they can't understand that other people have already ruined their lives or whatever. And so they just do the same thing again. And I keep finding these videos. I was like, oh my God, please don't tell me you're just going to do another stupid thing. You're going to say another stupid thing. And nobody, remember, a liberal, their other liberal friends will never say to them, you know what, that doesn't make sense. Maybe you shouldn't do that. You'll never see that.
I think it's because, once again, they have to conform and they're afraid to be, go outside of the narrative of, God forbid, they be called a name or kicked out of their group.
Right.
It's just insane. But
it's like, wait. It's like a cult. As
yes,
soon as
and
you
the
try
funny
to get
part
out
is
of it, they kill you. They try to kill you.
They call Trump supporters a cult. They call MAGA a cult. At least we are trying to help our own country, unlike, in my opinion, they're trying to destroy the country.
And it's interesting the way they call it a cult, especially when they are protesting, trying to get people that are here illegally out of the country. And don't you understand what's going on here? What we're trying to get done, that the previous administration had let millions of people in because they wanted to build a background for their own party, not even caring about them, and we're trying to get this under control, and they don't understand. And you explain it, and they just don't understand.
Joe, in their
No,
words,
they understand it. They're just being dishonest. You have to remember that.
Joe,
They
in
can't
their
be this
words,
stupid.
I believe Chuck Schumer's exact words were to give the illegal immigrants a pathway to citizenship, which basically gives them the right to vote.
Yeah, well, Chuck Schumer's problem is that he, years ago, he was for taking care of immigration. What happened is that he noticed that the whole party has moved so far radically left. He wants to keep his job, and he wound up being part of it. The same thing. As much as I hate Nancy Pelosi was the one person during the Biden administration that kept Ilmar Omen.
They were loud last night. They were loud last night.
Was able to keep them in line, but it's that whole side of the party has fallen so far left. It's just pathetic, to tell you the truth.
Now, I was wondering if we could get up one of the videos right now, if that's possible, and then Mark White is going to explain this. These are Mark's picks, and every week we are going to have a segment where Mark White will pick videos like these, and we will talk about them after. So I'd like to cue the video, if that's possible.
Yes, if the booth could bring up Asset 1.
Asset 1.
They're all MAGA. I wasted 2 motherfucking hours of my life last night supporting my fucking husband, watching the men's American fucking hockey team take the gold, only to watch this morning America's FBI director partying it up in the locker room, and then to see the whole team sitting on a bench talking to the hemorrhoid, and they are fucking excited as fuck to go meet him. Yeah, that's too much for me. Thank you very much. I could have been doing something else. I could have looked my husband in his peepers and said, fuck those bitches. Them bitches are MAGA. And I could have scurried off and not had to have been a supportive fucking wife for 2 fucking hours. So, is there a website that we could go to and check out our husbands' teams to see who the fuck they support? You know what I mean? Because this team supports this administration and every fucking thing it's doing to our country. Okay, so fuck you, Team USA.
Oh my God, I actually haven't seen that one.
She's crazy. See what I'm talking about?
She's
And
cray cray.
You know my favorite thing about them is like they're talking and then they stop like. And you go, what is that?
And the anger,
Right.
They're so angry.
And they're so condescending. You
Yes.
can't reason with people like this. That's what I
Absolutely.
keep trying to tell people. You cannot reason with them. These people have lost they don't have the ability to sit down and just talk normally about an issue, whatever, because we're all not going to agree. Even us MAGAs, even we don't agree on everything, right? That's just the way it is. But with them, when you don't disagree, you're kicked out of the club. You're cursed at. They don't want anything to do with you. You have to be silent. This is the reason why I ruined my musical career, because I cannot be silent. All the liberals get to say whatever they want to say, but if I have something to say, suddenly I'm the enemy. So I can't. To me, that's bullying, and I cannot be bullied, and that is the reason why I fought back.
You know what, Mark?
Because I just can't be around those people like that.
You know, and
I love that, Mark.
I did another podcast. I did it for 12 years with one of my very close friends, and I made a comment. And recently, I left last month, and my friend was telling me, he goes, you know, there's a lot of comics that you know that don't want to work with you anymore because of your views. And I go, I touch on politics 3 minutes in an hour set. I go, if they know me and they don't want to work with me, then they're being bigoted over what my beliefs are. And it's
Right.
just a shame that they feel that way.
It's not fair, to be
No.
honest with you. But liberalism isn't fair. I mean, liberalism. How do you put this? It's like they're trying to. Come on, they're trying to make things right, and they make things wrong. So trying to make things fair, they make it actually more unfair. It's just. Here's a good example. If the liberals had taken immigration the way it is right now, legal immigration, and made that easier, then I would have been impressed. Because right now it's impossible to immigrate into this country. We all know. I mean, if you ever been with immigrants that, like I was married to 2 of them, it's a nightmare trying to get your green card or whatever you have to do, right? We all know that. So why don't they make that easier instead of just sneaking them in the country? You'd think that's what you would do, and then everybody would be happy with that, because then you can go through the whole legal process and it wouldn't be this nightmare that it is right now.
Absolutely. And Patriot Box, you were talking about the State of the Union. There was a part that you wanted to express that
Well-
was very important.
Well, and I'm going to bring this up, and you're probably going to hear me say it over and over again. Basically, Donald Trump, you could see last night, if you saw the video, the television, you saw that the Democrats, by and large, sat and looked at their phones through most of his speech.
And slept, some of them.
But what Donald Trump said is, he basically said to everyone in that room, the first duty of the government is to protect the American citizens, not the illegal immigrants in this country. And he asked them, can you stand up for the Americans first, the legal citizens who made this country? He asked, can you stand up for them first? That's what government is all about. And you know what? The Dems just sat there. So are they working for you? Do they care about you? They made it very clear. They're more interested in illegal immigrants than American citizens. They think that government is not for you, it's not for American citizens, it's for their agenda, it's for illegal immigrants, and basically whatever bizarre idea is on their agenda. It seems like, again, you can't make this stuff up, like that woman who we saw earlier.
I hope that also they notice with the midterms coming up that they play that on the ads.
Oh, they
to show them
exactly.
how it was so telling last night. Physically, you can see it right there. How they don't care about America when everybody stood up and they were sitting down. Very telling.
I
Absolutely.
can't believe I have to say this again.
Yeah.
They have TDS.
Yeah.
That's what you're actually seeing. They don't care about the immigrants. They don't care about any of that. They're just anti-Trump. Whatever Trump is for, they're against. I don't know how you could have so much hatred for somebody. I just cannot comprehend it. But they do. The reason why I'm not looking into my iPhone, by the way, or looking at the camera, is because I can't see myself talk. It's insane. It's like a delay. So anyway, that's why I'm looking over here. So don't be, don't. But what I'm trying to explain is that they don't like Trump. They hate him. So what they're basically doing is voting against anything that he does. If he was suddenly for immigration, they would be illegal immigration. They would be against it. So we're not seeing honest people. We're just seeing people who are full of hate. And so you can't talk to them reasonably because they're so full of hate. You're never going to get the truth out of them. And this is all their little liberal followers in the media. Because once again, remember, they crushed their first woman president dreams.
And that was a great point. We're going to have a lot more when Red, Right, and True continues in a moment. Please stay with us.
And we have more videos coming up, and Mark has hand selected these videos, so another video will be in the next segment. So make sure you stay tuned to Red, Right, and True at the America First Warehouse right here on Long Island.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single Justice for All with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. We'll get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of humility. For the patriots of America, we stand tall.
Hi, and welcome back to Red, Right, and True, where we are so excited about Trump is the man with his speech last night. But I want to get back to the video that Mark played of the crazy white woman liberal who was pissed off about the hockey team. Because, again, the hockey team winning the gold medal and the young man who hit the winning goal, who had his teeth knocked out and was speaking through the blood. And he was saying, the first thing he said when he was interviewed was, I am so proud to represent my country. And all of the Americans and all of America should be proud to have somebody say those words instead of having other people who are supposedly representing the United States in the Olympics saying, well, I don't really believe what my country believes, but it's like, if you are representing us, be proud. And it was just amazing, that young man. I got, all choked up when I saw him say that. I put it all over my Facebook page. So that video, Mark, hit the nail on the head. So let's go down the line, because there were a lot of things to hit on. Kash Patel in the locker room. Why would anybody have an issue with that he was able to put the president of the United States on the phone? And I got so excited to see that clip, to see the president invite them to the State of the Union address, and they all went, hell yeah, hell yeah. Like, she was so angry about it. Why would anyone be angry about a young man who won a gold medal for their country, proud of their country, and she is seething about it?
Because
seething.
anything that's against Trump is their mantra. They don't care about common sense. They don't care about right and wrong. They don't care about good versus evil. If it's Trump, it's bad.
And one of the
Simple
things
as
that he got upset about was that Trump made a joke. He'd probably impeached. I'd probably be impeached if I don't also invite the gold medal winning U.S. team to the State of the Union address. And he made a comment. The men's team was filmed laughing at the remark, which many fans agree is dismissive and disrespectful towards the women's historic achievement. Everybody's got to relax. They were not. And the women's team chose not to go.
They weren't available is why they weren't there. They were booked.
Right. They were not available. They don't have a problem with the president. They just were not available, and they're going to come on a future date. But again, it's these people on the liberal side making a huge deal out of absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anybody who's normal, who watched that interaction, should have a feeling of pride, glee, and the fact that he was able to share that moment, the fact that he was proud of them for his country. They were proud to support, represent the country. It's just a normal reaction. So I don't understand the abnormal reaction. And Mark, you hit it on the head when you said they have Trump derangement syndrome. And the more they hate Trump, the more I love him. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, she, along with the rest of them, are all insane when it comes to this syndrome thing. And so, again, we're never going to get anything honest coming out of them. The FBI director, he's in the locker room. Who cares how he got there? Who cares why he's even there? He just wanted to be there. He's there. Nobody else would care about that. But since he's under Trump, they have a problem. They are always going to have a problem while Trump is a president. And this is what I said in the beginning. If we have Kamala Harris, or Kamala, or is it Kamala? I don't know what it is. Whatever
She's
her
not
name
sure
is.
either, Mark.
Yeah.
If she's the president, we're going to need bomb shelters. And if Trump is the president, we're going to see cities burned down. And that's what we're seeing exactly.
Absolutely. So I want to key up Asset 2, because you're getting a glimpse into, Mark is going to be doing this on our podcast every week. He's going to pick a video, and we're having 4 videos today.
I got some doozies.
So yeah, he said he has doozies. I was watching him on Facebook. He shares these on his Facebook page. I laugh my ass off. They are so funny, and the fact that they're real, that they are not, it's not an act that these people are doing. This is how they really feel. And as Mark says, once it gets out and people not in their little bubble to just say, oh, yeah, that's great that you did that, you see the crazy for what it is. And when Trump said, these people are crazy, this is what he's talking about. We are giving you live, real examples of these people who are crazy. So when we move on to asset 2, whenever you're ready,
Okay, I know what we can do. So we can figure out where they're getting their food, right, the ICE agents, and we can at least give them food poisoning. That's easy to do. All you have to do is not wash your hands when you're prepping their food. I mean, how easy is that, right? There is a biological weapon. Okay, I'm going to come up with more, okay? Stay tuned.
oh my God. So in other words, go ahead, Mark. You want to talk first?
No, you see what she does? So we're going to give them food poisoning, you know what I mean? And then we're going to do some other stuff, and then we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come up. I mean, this is insanity. Don't you see it? These people are insane.
Well,
There's no way around it. She is absolutely insane. And here's the thing. This isn't like you're insane for like a couple of minutes. This is a prolonged insanity until you get arrested. And even then, I don't even know if they even get it. Because no, and then she has no friends. It's like, if that was my friend, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Take that down. You're gonna get the cops coming after you. Where's her friends?
They're just as crazy as
Exactly.
they
Well,
are.
you know, I'd like to jump in here. And basically, you know, there's plenty of these crazies out there, these videos, they're very amusing, quite funny. And you could say, well, they don't represent the majority or most people. Well, I want to talk about someone who does represent a big segment of the population. Her name is Ian Omar, and she basically heckled and tried to disrupt President Trump during the State of the Union. Now, I want to add another thing about the State of the Union. It was the longest in history, and I'm going to say it was the best in history. And one of the things that you didn't necessarily hear, because it was not audio, you couldn't hear it on the audio, but one of the things that Ian Omar said was that she shouted out, and I quote, "You have killed Americans." And she was referring to the 2 agitators that were killed by federal officers while trying to do their job of law enforcement, who were attacking and attempting to murder our ICE agents. She was worried about those 2 people. You know who she wasn't worried about? She wasn't worried about you, an American citizen who works. She wasn't worried about the thousands of people who have been victimized by illegal immigrants. That she doesn't care about. She narrowed it. The only 2 Americans that she cared about while she heckled our president was the 2 agitators and the 2 people who were engaging in behavior against this country, against law and order, against trying to get criminals, illegal immigrants, out of this country. That's who she was. That's the only person. Did you ever hear her say anything about the woman who was murdered on a light rail train? Her mother was there last night crying because her daughter was brutally murdered. And you know what? I don't think the Democrats got up for that either.
They did not get up. And what's ironic is they call themselves the party of peace, the party of unity. And where is the unity? In the last clip that Mark was playing, she basically was saying, you know, make them sick, poison them. It's out of control, their violence. Again, Michael was talking about
that would be the Patriot Box, Bonnie?
Was talking
Oh my God!
Patriot Box was talking about right in the
Compromise
city.
entire mission.
Right in the city, with the snowballs, they were throwing snowballs at the police under Mayor Mandami, and you know a lot of the police were getting injured, and Mandami was like, "Oh, it's just a snowball fight." Can you imagine if it was the other way around?
Well, I'd like to propose. Mandami said that he is not going to prosecute those people who threw snowballs and ice balls at the police, while when he goes out in public, he has a detachment of police that he doesn't like, but he has them protecting him, his family, and everyone else. I'm thinking, since there's going to be snow around for a long time, thanks to Mandami's great care of taking care of this last couple of blizzards we had in New York, why don't we do the same thing to Mandami? Why don't we throw snowballs in his face every time he's out in public and he's okay with that. It's just a snowball fight. And
But you know what? Unfortunately, Patriot Box, if you say something like that, you'll probably be put up on charges of, that you're inciting violence. But they can say whatever they want. It goes back to Mark White's
I
point at
think
the
it's a
beginning.
twofold-
Different set of rules, one for us and one for them.
But I think it's
And you can't even point that out to them.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a twofold plan as well. I'll tell you why. There is a problem about clearing snow. We've had another blizzard on top of the snow, and we have all this snow to get rid of. If you say that you could throw snowballs at Mamdani without any consequence, the snow will be gone in an hour and a half.
I
The
love
streets
that.
will be clear. You'll think it's a spring day in June.
That is hilarious.
and no ID is necessary.
No ID is necessary.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
the
perfect. Again, and Trump brought that up last night about how it's ironic that the Dems say are against the Save America Act, that you have to show ID because people don't know how to do that. But to shovel snow in New York City, you had to show, I think, two forms of ID. So he requires that to shovel snow, but to do the most important thing, to have
Voting?
to vote. The most important thing they're too dumb to be able to get an ID. That they use that as an excuse because they want to cheat. And Trump called them out on that. We have 23 seconds left. Mark, do you want to say something?
So what's the question is, like, when you get a normal job in New York City, do you have to have two forms of ID?
I would
say so.
I would say so.
But Mark, we're going to hold that thought, and we'll continue as soon as we get back from this break with Red, Right, and True right here at the America First Warehouse.
Have you noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive, but it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep, and you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about, the Fred Rubino Podcast.
I'm James Justice. We got Stephen Ruth over here. What are we doing, Steve? Fighting!
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse.
Welcome to Liberty's Cage, the podcast tearing down the walls of America's broken justice system.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Downey Jr. Podcast. Be free, stay free.
Welcome back to the America First Warehouse, where we're live with Red, Right, and True with Joe Curry, Bonnie Scalise, and Mark White, and me, the Patriot Box. Sometimes Bonnie calls me Michael, but I'm the Patriot Box on this show anyway.
I am Ron Quarry.
For those of you last night who watched History in the Making, it was the longest State of the Union in history, and I'm going to go out and say it was the best in history. For almost 2 hours, Donald Trump talked about what he has done in the last year for this country and the people of this country, and just went on nonstop and just routed the left and the Democrats. And not only did he rout them, you could see it on TV. You could see them just sitting there looking at their phones. But you know what? In fairness, one of the things we do in this country is that after the State of the Union, the opposing side, the Democrats, are allowed to have their rebuttal and shown, which I agree with. And I'm going to summarize what Abigail Spanberger, she's the Virginia governor, she asked 3 questions. She said, is the president working to make life more affordable? Well, yeah, that's a resounding yes. The price of fuel is down, the price of food is coming down, but let's just talk about one thing. The price of fuel coming down affects everyone and everything in this country.
Everything.
So the answer to that question was, yeah, Donald Trump, drill baby drill, has brought the price of fuel, and basically everything associated with that comes with that. So the answer to her question is yes. Again, the alternate universe that she lives in, maybe she doesn't realize what she's even asking. All right. The other question, her second question was, is the president working to keep America safe home and abroad?
Me and the Patriot Box, we started laughing, and we're yelling at the screen, yes! I mean, who has done more to help? Go ahead, Patriot
Let's talk
Box.
about just 2 aspects, all right? Of course, they criticized Trump for this, but in one of the most dangerous cities in America, Washington, D.C., Trump brought in the National Guard and now made it from one of the most unsafe cities into one of the safest cities. People for the first time are able to actually behave like human beings and go out and walk their streets and not be in fear of the criminal element that's so pervasive. The other thing, as far as feeling safer at home, this is really this next thing. The fact that Trump took out the Iranian nukes, basically that doesn't just protect you. That doesn't just protect Americans or Israel. That protects the world. Not only does it protect the world, it protects your children, their grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren. When Iran does not have nuclear weapons, the world is a safer place. So again, to Abigail, yeah, I think I feel a little safer.
Well, you know what? She's a crazy white liberal nut job, which is a great segue to move to Asset 3, another one of Mark White's picks of the crazy liberal women that are out of their minds, and she is one of them. Even though she is in charge of where she got to make the rebuttal. Virginia, she got to do the rebuttal. She's a crazy lunatic.
And before we go to Asset 3, didn't she raise
She
taxes
raised everyone's
on
taxes?
Everything?
Of course.
Patriot Box,
she's
I
like
believe
a
she raised,
Mandami,
yeah.
but again, anybody who is for more government is really puts more burden on the backs of the working middle class.
Mandami ran on a platform of making things more affordable. And he's not even in office a few months. And what does he want to do? He wants to raise the taxes on homeowners, which is basically everyone.
A 10%
The middle
tax.
class, whether you rent or whether you own, you're going to be affected by that. It's the same as when fuel prices go through the roof. Everyone pays for it. So these people ran on a platform of affordability, and then what do? They do the exact opposite.
Absolutely. So we're
I
going
have something to say.
We're going to get up to asset 2.
Yes, Mark.
And we're going to take a look at another of Mark's picks coming up.
If the government wants to use biowarfare on us, we can use it on them too. Do not let your pee go to waste. Do not let your tampons go to waste. Do not let that blood that you collect in your disc go to waste. If you're on that next level of nasty, don't let your shit go to waste.
The perfect example of crazy.
How'd you like to live around that
I
house?
don't- I
What's
don't-
that in the fridge? You know.
So again, Mark, I want
freak.
to clarify that she wants you to use that to throw at people.
Bonnie, I don't think we really need to get into the details.
I
think it was self-explanatory, more than enough for me.
Okay.
I have something to say about the gas prices.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
So remember, in California, people in California do not see low gas prices. They see their gas prices going up. So they're not aware that the rest of the country is going down. So they're mad at Donald Trump because they think the gas prices have come down, but they haven't come down because California has a lot of taxes and stuff on their gas. So they're not understanding that the rest of us are enjoying these low gas prices. You got to remember that part of the country is still listening to CNN, so they have really no idea what's going on.
How much is gas? I believe gas is, I think, $4 plus in California.
It can go. When we were there, the most I saw, I was there, it was $7 at one point.
I don't understand, and that's why people are fleeing from California. And you have Gavin Newsom that is absolutely clueless on what is going on. That his state is absolutely unlivable, and he's aspirations of being the president. I mean, how delusional can you be?
Okay, so now let me address Doodoo Girl. You have to understand that these are violent people. They're supposed to be the party of peace and love and peace, but they're actually violent because they're like little children. They can't control themselves. As soon as you don't agree with them or they don't agree with you, they start throwing stuff at you. They just become like little children. So you can't reason with them. You can't reason with any of these people, by the way. And so that's what you're seeing. That's why they're on the video. They have no self-control. That's a good one. Liberals have no self-control. That's why they're burning down. Do you realize that they attacked each other's Teslas because they were mad at Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't make that make sense.
Yeah. But you made a great comment, and you made it earlier in the show. You also made it on the first show where why these women are so infuriated, and you brought it back to Hillary Clinton believing how to shoe in, and she lost, and then having Biden and having the comfort of Biden, and then having Trump won again. It is such an amazing insight that I have not heard any pundit, anybody ever mention that, and it's so spot on, Mark. Amazing. Great point.
Absolutely. And, getting back to the speech last night, the comparison between Biden and Trump, for our president, who just knocked it out of the park, the energy of him, and he, as Patriot Box was saying, the longest speech ever. And you know why? Because that speech came from his heart. He really
And it
believes.
came from the work that he has done in the last year. That man has done more and accomplished more in the last year than any other president has in one or two terms. We have not seen a president like this since Ronald Reagan, who has changed this country and made it better for everyone, including the crazy libtards. I want to go back to, I was mentioning Abigail, the rebuttal. She said, "Is this president working for you?" Well, we see him every day working. I couldn't keep up with that man, all right? He's working every day. You know what he's doing. He's in the news every day. Where was Joe Biden? Who ran our country? All right? No one's talking about that. If that's not frightening, that the Dems had, we don't even know who was running the country. We don't know who was running the auto pen, and we had them also usurp their own president and put Camilla in. All right, but Trump was a threat to democracy. You know what? I could go on, but I'm going to just stop here.
I just wanted to say something is that, with everything that happened this week, there was so much going on. There was another assassination attempt on Trump, and of course they got the person. But Trump actually said, I don't want to get his quote wrong, but the gist of it was, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here because they're really gunning for me. For him to feel that way as the president of the United States, because they are trying to get rid of him, because he has done so much for our country and exposed the fraud. And, at the last segment, I definitely want to have time spent on the fraud that was discovered. And he called out Ilhan Omar right there at the presidential address. And I was cheering. It was like I was at the best football game, and they had just won at the last minute. And I was like, finally, somebody is standing up to this BIT who hates our country, who has stolen from our country, and who wants to tell you how to live in our country. And then if you, God forbid, you say anything, oh, you're an Islamophobist, you're a racist. You know what? We're done with that. And to see the president call her out was one of the best moments that I have ever seen Trump do.
And the great thing about it is the media always sits there and pacifies her. And you say, God forbid they ever say anything against her. It was so amazing to watch our president sit there and call her out and dress her down, because that's how a lot of us feel. A majority of Americans feel about her. And we had our leader there with her in person dressing her down. It was an amazing moment.
Well, now let's give Ilhan Omar a little bit of credit here. She started out about 7 years ago. Her net worth was minus $65,000, and between her and her husband, they've managed to have net worth of over $30 million in just 7 years. And apparently he owns a wine company, but they've never sold anything. They don't have a place. Maybe we should all learn from her how you can make $30 million
and we'll be back with more of that in a minute.
You've worked hard and saved, but inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
At the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Welcome back to the America First Warehouse. We're live with Red, White, and True. And we were talking on the break, and actually a little before this, in the last segment. You know, one of the things that is done all the time, and it's so obvious, I'm tired of the Democratic Party not offering anything more than slogans, like the communists do, and the way they manipulate language to twist it into things that it totally is opposite of its original meaning. I'm going to give you an example. Abigail last night in her rebuttal, the way this is a perfect example of how they play with words. She said, instead of using the term illegal immigrants, which we know that you're not supposed to do, she described illegal immigrants, people who aspire to be Americans. Wow, isn't that great? They're not illegal immigrants. They're people who aspire to be Americans. You know, as a Second Amendment guy, they talk about we want sensible gun laws. Yeah, I think everyone wants sensible gun laws. But the problem is, to them, sensible means banning them, banning your Second Amendment rights. So again, this game that they've been playing with language, I've had enough of it. Why don't we speak out about that? Why don't we call them out for this nonsense?
And also, you know, they're so worried about words hurting, that people had pronouns and you couldn't hurt anyone's feelings. And meanwhile, you've seen the violence that they aspire to, what they could do if they were allowed to do it. Throwing snowballs at police, the women on these videos who are saying to throw your excrement at people, to ruin their food, the ICE agents. So words hurt, but what they do is, again, it's such hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is seething. And I want to also get to the last asset, the last pick of Mark's for the last segment, and then we're going to talk about it. But Trump said it best. They're crazy.
Y'all need to wake the fuck up. If you don't know by fucking now, did you know ICE has warheads? Did you know this? Did you know ICE has fucking warheads? And you know the only place that ICE can use these is on American soil? Did you fucking know that? Did you fucking know that? So that means that sorry-ass motherfucker in the Oval Office plans to use these goddamn warheads on American soil, on American citizens. Y'all need to wake the fuck up to this. Now, goddammit, I've had it. If you all don't see what the fucking problem is this, you are the goddamn fucking disease of this fucking country. And may God have fucking mercy on your soul when all this shit show is over. Say what the fuck I said.
Oh my God!
All right, I'm just.
A picture is worth 1,000
Where
words.
do we start?
All right. I'm going to start, people. I'm going to start, and then I'm basically. If you looked carefully, that woman had summer teeth. Some were spaces, and some were teeth. And the rest goes back to you guys.
No, Mark, that was a perfect pick because it just encapsulated everything that we were talking about. Every single thing. That words hurt, but she's okay to say those words. That they're the party of people. Yeah. So Mark, we are so thrilled that you have picked these videos, and we're going to ask you to keep them up throughout. And Joe, did you want to say anything about these videos?
She's mentioning where they have missiles. I said, where do they have missiles? I've never seen. Where are they going to put the missiles? They got a Suburban. You can't put a missile in a Suburban. Where is she getting her information from? And that's the thing with these videos. And when you speak to these people, you ask them. And I've always told you this, Bonnie, when I'm debating online or whatever, and I go, give me 3 reasons. 3 reasons. And they can't. You know. No, I don't know. Tell me. Oh, no. Well, I don't have to tell you. No, because you made the statement. Explain it to me. If I'm questioned, look at all of it. If you question me, I've got all of this. And it's just amazing where the far left liberal does not have. They just walk off of rhetoric, what they hear in The View, what they see on CNN, and they don't do their research, and then they come out and make these statements. Half these people that go to these anti-ICE rallies have absolutely no clue what they're there for. Well, as an example, I went to a Black Lives Matter. I was passing a rally, and there were some girls there, and I said, I go, why? Well, Black Lives Matter. I go, do you understand that we've turned the tables to be fair to African Americans, where if you go to a job interview, they will get the job over you? And I go, and it's part of setting things straight. But however, their lives do matter, and however, they're being favored for an advantage. So to go out and say their lives matter and say, well, it is so hypocritical, and you haven't done your research on this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hypocritical as far as I am Jewish. And where were they when the Jews were being attacked, the synagogues are being attacked? No one says anything about Jewish lives matter. All lives matter. No one should be attacked. No one should feel threatened when they want to state an opinion. Joe, you have so much more patience than I do for these people. I can't, I'm like Mark. I can't let them go on, because then it always that goes down to name calling, and I'm tired of being called names. And as Mark said, they don't listen. So, what is the point of it?
But
I looked up ICE has warheads, and apparently it might be a clerical error for distraction devices such as a flashbang. So she thinks that a missile, it's actually a flashbang.
Yeah. And that's how ignorant they have. Well, it's a warhead. No, it's not a warhead. It's not, I've never seen an ICBM with a flashbang on it. It's going to scare the enemy, not kill them. It doesn't make any sense,
But going back to this again, hatred against ICE, and all they're doing is trying to remove illegal immigrants who came into this country, who many of them have, records of being murderers. Robbing people. And Trump so eloquently showed the angel moms, and the Democrats don't stand up for the angel moms. In other words, if you're not that's the reason ICE is there, is because of so many deaths of American citizens of all nationalities, of all races, of all ethnicities, American citizens that are being murdered or robbed, or car accidents. That little girl that was hit by the truck, because in California they give driver's license to illegals, and that guy ran her over, and the little girl, I mean, I didn't even know that story. They bury these stories. They don't want to talk about the angel moms. They don't want to talk about anything except the one or two people that got murdered, not murdered, but self-defense, because they were attacking the ICE agents, and the ICE agents reacted. So,
Bonnie, can I stop you right there? I'm gonna tell you why I did. It got involved, and the ICE agents reacted. Why did they react? Because these cities did not provide police protection to keep them from being involved in the incident. If Minneapolis, if they provided the police protection that was supposed to be there, these incidents would never have happened, because the police would have kept them at bay, so ICE could have done their job. So blood on the hands is on these politicians that have kept the police from doing their job and letting ICE do theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mark, that was a great video pick, because ICE is going to be around, and as far as Biden,
especially in New York, thanks to Mamdani.
Especially in New
York.
And
it's been around since 2003, so what's the big deal?
Right, but like you said, it's a big deal now because Trump is in charge of it, and they hate him. And again, somebody should come up with a cure for Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know what that cure would be.
Voting.
Voting, exactly. So the midterms, like Joe was talking about, every Republican has to get out and vote in the midterms, and vote like your life is depending on it, because it is. I firsthand see what has happened in New York City. I'm on Long Island. I'm like, well, it's not going to affect me. Then Mandami is raiding the teachers' retirement fund, and I'm a retired teacher, so I'm going to be affected by that. I don't have a right to vote in the city, so there's nothing I could have done about that. But people don't understand that even though I didn't think I could be affected by something's happening there, it will affect you at some point. And you have to get yourself to a voting place and vote in the midterms. We're going to push that every time.
We're going to push it.
Every
What I'd
time.
like to do is every show I would like to push it and push it why we need to have a sense of urgency about this, why we need to get on this. Also, one thing that I said at the beginning of the program is you saw in real time the Democrats sit there and not even care. And it showed how they didn't care about this country because they're filling an agenda that is going to lead to the downfall of this country.
100%, 100%. And, that speech, again, people will watch that speech, and someone like myself found it inspirational, Trump's speech, found it inspirational, again, showing the magnificence of the work that he has done in just 1 year. And then somebody else will see the exact same thing and have a completely different interpretation of it. It's just baffling to me. And go ahead, Patrick.
I'm going to just say it again because it's worth repeating. The first duty of the government is to protect American citizens.
Yes, and Joe, we want to thank Mark White for being our guest. Thank you so much, Mark. And Joe has some amazing things that are happening right here at the warehouse.
Yes, the amazing things are in my bag over by the table, so I don't have them. But what I will like to say is I would love to thank the America First Warehouse for having us. Check us out every Wednesday. Check out all the other shows. We have some great shows on there. We'd like to thank Mike Liddell from My Pillow. Also, I'm going to be up in Connecticut, Skyline Restaurant, this Friday up in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. So if you're up there, come on, say hello. And I'd like to thank everybody again for watching. Bonnie, Patriot Box, Mark. This has been Red, Right, and True. Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
A beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free.